de nature, Reverse Boss Order sur la SNES avec Audraxys. Fait que bienvenue et bonne chance.
Okay, hello. My name is Audraxys. I'm debuting Super Metroid Nature, which is a ROM hack that came out in 2018 around Christmas. And I have Sean and Owl on the couch commentating. And it's going to be a fairly difficult run. Actually, test. Okay. Okay, test.
Your voice, right?
Yeah, okay. My voice is good now. Thank you to the tech crew. Okay, so we'll be ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Woo!
Okay, so reverse boss order. If you have seen that in vanilla Super Metroid, it consists of having to defeat the 4 golden 4 bosses in reverse order. So Ridley, Dragon, Phantoon, and Kraid. The big challenge of this is Kraid guards the Varia suit, which is required to avoid taking heat damage from Norfair. And Phantoon guards the gravity suit, which is required to move through water properly. So you need a lot of advanced movement techniques to move through water with that gravity suit. Now this hack, it's similar to vanilla. It follows a lot of the same progression beats. So Kraid and Phantoon still guard Varia and gravity suit. So we're gonna have like all the same issues that reverse boss order has in vanilla, but with like a different map, a different layout. So.
And harder.
Yeah, it's harder for a specific reason, actually. So being able to survive Lord Norfair's heat damage relies heavily on a mechanic called Crystal Flash. So Crystal Flash, basically, you need to have 10 of each ammo type, missile, super missile, and power bomb. And you actually need an 11th power bomb because the way you activate Crystal Flash is by laying a power bomb, holding a certain button combo. It's LR shooting down. And if you do that, when you're under 50 health, then the game will trade 10 of each ammo in exchange for more or less a full refill of health. Technically, it's 1800, and heat damage can eat into that, but for most intents and purposes, it's a full heal. So you're trying to use those full heals from the Crystal Flashes to make your way through Lord Norfair's heat damage. The problem with this hack is that instead of all the packs of the ammos being giving you 5 each, the super missiles only give you 3 each, and the power bombs only give you 2 each. So you get maximum, if you pick up every super missile in the game, you have maximum 30, and if you pick up every power bomb in the game, you have maximum 20. And this makes getting the ammo for Crystal Flashes a lot more difficult. So we're going to have to go around and get a lot more items from the overworld than a vanilla RBO run would have to get.
Luckily, the drops for power bombs, I believe, are much more likely.
Yeah, it's easier to get power bomb drops and super drops, and they also give you 2 per drop instead of just 1. So there are some trade-offs that make it easier, but we have to do a lot more collection than vanilla does. And
You'll also notice that when you pick up major items, the fanfare still goes, but you can move during the fanfare, which makes door transitions a bit wonky.
yeah, door transitions actually can't activate until if there's a background music change. Door transitions cannot activate until the music transition is finished.
Oh, by the way, missiles do 150 instead of 100, so it makes Phantoon a little bit not normal.
It actually also makes missiles a much more effective tool to use on Ridley. So I would actually like, if you're looking to get into Super Metroid ROM hacks, like if you want to play your first one and you're like a bit daunted by how many options there are and how some of them are extremely difficult, this is the one that I recommend as a first playthrough to pretty much everyone interested. It's quite casual friendly.
And mostly vanilla physics.
Yeah, it is vanilla physics.
I mean, except for the space jump, which for most people it's easier.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, if you're looking for something that like follows, like you don't have to do anything too complicated in the game. You're just defeating the same bosses that you would defeat in normal Super Metroid. Then this is the ROM hack for you to get started.
Okay. Right now, usually you will get the first supers at Spore Spawn, but there is a super missile right on top of this room.
This is pretty hard, actually.
Yeah, Audra is doing a triple bomb jump, which is you need a specific rhythm in order to get it correctly.
There we go, we got it.
Nice. That's very tough.
You can do single bomb jumps for that, but it's like 15, 20 seconds or something faster to do if you can do the doubles. The problem with the doubles is that it's not a constant rhythm. The rhythm for it changes like every 4 sets or so. So you have to be prepared to make that adjustment. So this is just like normal progression, going criteria to Brinstar. I'm going to be getting a missile pack here that I normally don't get. We want to have 50, we end up having 55 missiles for Ridley, which because the missiles do more damage in this than vanilla Super Metroid, the missiles end up being really important.
So at the moment, like the current priority is to run around and collect like as many resources as possible before making the descent down to Ridley. I believe this is going to include like 3 separate trips to Norfair before we're like even ready.
Yes.
You need to get enough stuff to be able to get a major upgrade, and then more stuff to get it with that upgrade to get another upgrade, and
yeah, so I'm detouring for this E-Tank, which normally I wouldn't even bother with in like any percent. Actually, this ROM hack is just like really well built and like the rooms. The creator, Jiffy962, despite him not actually being a speedrunner, a lot of these rooms, the room designs just work out very well for making speedrun strats. Like they're not too blocky. Like some ROM hackers are prone to making the rooms like too blocky and they don't really flow well. But in this one, he did a really good job. And I think it's one of the most run ROM hacks. I think there's like probably like 10 or 12 runners for any percent. I forget exactly. I'm also going out of the way for a reserve tank here. A reserve tank is like, it's like the Metroid equivalent of like a Zelda fairy. So if your health hits 0, it will automatically revive you with how much health is in it, which is maximum of 100 for each reserve tank.
That's an example of a door transition that can't go until the fanfare is done.
So reserve tank is really important for like anytime you're doing heated runs, because it's actually kind of complicated to explain. If your health runs out during like a cutscene, it'll sort of like buffer any damage that you would have taken during the cutscene, and you end up not taking that damage. It's hard to explain, but you'll see what I mean on the Ridley kill. We're detouring here for another energy tank because I'm going to need it when we start doing the first heat runs. But yeah, like Sean said, we are doing a triple Norfair visit for this run. In vanilla reverse boss order, there is a big, it's kind of a big dichotomy between trying to do a double Norfair route and trying to do a single. So double Norfair, like you want to take as few trips to Norfair as possible, right? So the double Norfair route in vanilla is it's safer because you can get goodies like high jump and speed booster and ice beam earlier that let you obtain more stuff from like Brinstar, like some energy tanks and stuff are.
And in this ROM hack, we get Spring Ball quite a bit earlier than usual.
Oh yeah, that's one really good thing about speedruns for this is Spring Ball. In vanilla, Spring Ball is relegated to like late game Meridia, and it's not useful enough. Like you almost never get to use the movement tech for Spring Ball outside of 100%, and you don't really get to see even the unique tricks with it outside of randomizer. But in this run, we'll be doing a lot of attack called midair spring ball jump, which is, somebody wants to explain that actually.
Well, if you have Spring Ball off in the pause menu, if you jump and morph before you hit, and pause before you hit the apex of that ball jump, and you turn on Spring Ball again, you can do a you can just do a basically a jump. And the fun thing about this hack is that the pause timer, like the time it takes to pause, is shorter than in vanilla. So in underwater, you can chain as many Spring Ball jumps as you want. In vanilla, I think the most a human could do is 2.
Yeah, and it's very hard to get that second one. It takes a lot of practice.
Basically need high jump for it as well.
Which we are actually going to get here right now. This Norfair visit is the first one. It's it's arguable whether it really counts as one for the purposes of Norfair visits in RBO because we're not going to be doing any heated runs. I elected to not do the trip to Ice Beam on this trip. Just because it's much easier to survive if you do it way later with more equipment. And we don't really... Ice Beam would help a little bit in the early game, but we don't really need it, so... We're just going to get high jump and dip. So high jump is very important here because we need to traverse Meridia to get space jump and 2 energy tanks. So... this visit is definitely worth it, even just for this item. But the second time that we get to Norfair, we'll be doing some exciting heat runs. So it's basically Samus's own personal hot sauce challenge.
Oh yeah, space jump in this hack is behind Shack Tool. And in vanilla, Shock Tool takes a very long time to get through, and that's where Spring Ball is. But here, Shock Tool is actually optional. You can do a bit of a jump to bypass Shock Tool and get Space Jump.
Yeah, you can basically backdoor getting the item. Any percent would do it with a technique called Gravity Jump, which is taking off the gravity suit and to like trick the game into making your jump acceleration in water really strong. We don't have gravity suit in this run, obviously, so we're just going to be infinite spring ball jumping towards space jump. Well, actually, I would like to get a super drop here. I shouldn't have used it on the other enemy.
There is a super pack, and that requires using free supers, which is why Audra is
Zila is getting away from me. Don't do that.
Is it a good moment to add donation?
Sure.
So, Tonio, let's go no reset. Moins de $1,200 pour une run insane de Hollow Knight. On donne tout, puis pour la cause. Hype tout le monde.
Okay, so this super missile, I was trying to get a drop. You need 3 supers to get that super missile pack. We're just gonna have to get it later. That's fine.
So we have another donation. Le compte est bon. De $25. On part un donation train qui embarque chouchou. Moi, je suis game. Êtes-vous game, vous autres?
Okay, I'm going to be doing the first mid-air spring ball jump of the run here to skip the use of Ice Beam and Red Tower.
And that right there is going to let us get power bombs earlier than we're expected to.
Yeah, it really just needs Ice Beam to be able to get this, and I could have gotten Ice Beam. I just chose not to, for health reasons. That's like the one place where having Ice Beam early would have helped. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. We definitely need it to get to Dragon and Meridia, but that's much later in the run, so we can put off Ice Beam collection for quite a while. Power Bombs are going to let me access the earliest section of Meridia, though, and get Space Jump, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That Mock Ball puzzle is actually not the first place you're supposed to get Power Bombs. You're supposed to get them from this room, but you're supposed to use Speed Booster to run under those gates, but oh my goodness. We like being able to skip items where we can. Mock Ball is a very, it's a huge staple trick in Super Metroid. It's used to get early Super Missiles in vanilla.
Yeah, for the uninitiated, a Mock Ball is just a way to, I guess, exploit the movement mechanics to make you be able to roll at running speed and morph ball, which you're not normally meant to do. If you just morph and press like left or right, you'll roll much slower than you can run.
I just did one here. Like, you basically, for movement purposes, you, as a speedrunner, will just do them everywhere. But yeah, in some places, they're required for like a trick to get under a gate. Okay, so we're gonna start seeing infinite spring ball jump in action here.
I was so excited when I found out that you could do this in the middle of my first playthrough of this. I was just messing around, going through Meridia.
That's fun. It also gives you that sense of like power that you can take back from when you struggle with something in the vanilla game. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep chaining this over and over like an infinite jump. It's like every time that you unequip and re-equip Spring Ball, it like resets the ball physics in a way where it thinks you're on the, oh, I messed up.
It's real.
Where's the...
Oh.
Okay, that's okay. We can start again from here.
So we have another donation just entered. Pavillon, $50. Chouchou, les sauces fortes, ça pique sur la langue.
Oh, this one's barely gonna make it. I didn't pause very fast. This one's not gonna make it. You have to pause like right away after you. So after I re-equip Spring Ball, I have to press the jump button as soon as I can, during or after the pause fade out, and then I have to mash pause to pause as fast as I can. So you have to have gameplay happen both when you're turning Spring Ball off and when you're turning it on. Otherwise, the game just doesn't register that you ever turned it off. Oh, please don't bonk the ceiling. That would be tragic.
We have another donation from Jiffy962 for $50.
Oh.
Time to watch my daily dose of Spring Ball Jump Simulator. Be careful, the Riley jump scare. Good luck, Audraxys.
Thank you so much.
Let's get this run on the leaderboard, kill the animal, save the frames.
Oh, was that from Jiffy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the hack author.
Yeah, shout outs to Jiffy. He's very good with like the graphical designs of the hack, like the palette changes and such too. He's very artistic. This is actually kind of dangerous. We're going to go, I call this Spike Cave, named after like the Spike Cave in A Link to the Past and A Link to the Past randomizer. We're going through this for an energy tank, so as long as I can get through here without making too many mistakes, I'll be fine.
And so I guess just to reiterate, the real sticking point here with these spring ball jumps is you need to have upward momentum. If the upward momentum ever stops, you won't be able to execute another one.
Oh yeah, we did forget to mention that, I think.
I did mention you need to be before the apex.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Almost.
okay. Yeah, that's correct. We're good.
But yeah, the TLDR is we need upward momentum. That's all you need to know.
I'm very bad at doing TLDRs in Super Metroid. I know too many minor details about like the technical things that I just like. I can kind of go off the rails with explanations sometimes.
So you know a lot of details about missiles, supers, and power bombs?
What did I? Okay, what did I say that makes that funny?
Minor details?
Minor detail. Okay, minor items. Got it. Okay, now we're going to go all the way up for space jump. This is how you backdoor space jump.
And it is a long way up. It's roughly as long as the bomb jump was to get supers at the beginning of the game.
That's a good comparison. I never thought of that. So if you space them out properly to be able to land on these ledges, you can cut out the number of jumps that you need. But it's a bit harder to get through the hole in the ceiling from this vantage point, so it's a bit risky. So you have to like move laterally in between them. Okay, I think we're good. Just one more. Okay.
Move laterally.
Yay.
Up the ladder.
Okay. All right. Oh, I missed the platform. Okay. I could have sworn it was further left.
That's okay. We needed a few more spring ball jumps.
Oh, we're gonna get a lot more later. Okay, there's a really exciting. There's a really cool trick in Meridia way later when I'm gonna finally defeat the boss in Meridia, where I have to do a spring ball jump into a gate glitch. And if you know anything about gate glitches, then that's kind of a doozy.
Probably the most ridiculous part of this run.
That's not the hardest part of this. I actually disagree. There's like...
I just mean the situation.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, this lower Norfair, let me tell you. This lower Norfair coming up, like... it's not just a simple, like, farm, fight Ridley, farm again, get out. There's like, sort of like a gauntlet, sort of like acid shaking, screen shaking escape sequence on the way into Ridley. And then there's another one out of there, and you have to like get the drops necessary to survive the way out. But yeah, it's actually quite difficult.
We have a $15 donation from Metroid MST.
Hey.
I know I give Audra a lot of good-natured RBO grief. But I always look forward to your runs at this event. Thank you so much, Metroid.
Thank you, Amnesty.
I think that's the nicest thing he's ever said to me.
I refuse to explain arm pumping.
Yeah, I think we're good. Just wave your hands in the air like you just don't care or something.
Exactly.
Okay, somebody... I was in somebody's stream who was like, they were only a casual Super Metroid player, and they were... I think they called it like noodle arming or something. They didn't like know what it was, but they knew that they saw people do it. I need a super missile. Hello,
Well, the green bugs that are a few rooms to the left should give you them.
Okay,
Like,
there we go. It's kind of gonna hurt that I didn't get the super from earlier because I have to do a green gate glitch, which requires supers, and it would give me more attempts at it if I had more of them. Anyways, that's coming up after this Norfair trip I'm about to do. Okay, so how far are we into the run? 22 minutes, 23 minutes or so. We're gonna finally start getting heat runs, which is what y'all came here for. Oh, you might have come here for the arcade. I don't know. It's not my business, but. Okay. So this run to Speed Booster, it's actually going to be fairly tight because there's two things I want to pick up on the way. I'm going to actually have to detour to pick up a super missile. There's a shortcut. Like you're meant to get Speed Booster before you get power bombs. So there is a power bomb shortcut that any percent uses that you could use here. but I'm actually going to take the normal way because the normal way routes into a super missile pack. That's very awkward to get to otherwise. So we're going to be taking extra damage going the long way. And then there's a power bomb